roll with these things aren't out there to get me, they're out there to serve me. And if I roll with them, they actually snowball into something really great. There might be the challenges and hurdles along the way, but if I stick with it, it's going to work out and it's going to be okay. Right. So in the me speaking of house hacking, right? It was okay. I make a teacher's income, teacher salary, and now I have this mortgage. It's all on me, and I'd really like some breathing space. I have an extra room. Let me rent that room out. And so I just started
Mm.
renting that room out. Now it has a name and it's all, super fancy. It's called house hacking. And there's so many different variations of it, but it's such an effective way to learn. Oh, wow. If I can barter and trade with my real estate, I can really, do well.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you rented out a room, and where did it go from there?
So from there, my husband and I got married and we had a vision. I had some struggles in my early adulthood, and it really just gave me a heart for people who have like come from abusive situations. And, you really have to get your feet back on the ground. And so we just had the shared vision of let's build a small residential portfolio. We'll live a modest life. We will simply buy a home that we can afford on one income. We were committed to living on one income, just to make life easy and give us a little flexibility. And so in that process, we were like, we'll just go, we'll improve a home, and then we'll buy the next one and lease, rent that one out. And that was our plan. But then guess what happened? We had our second baby. And when you have your second baby, or maybe your first, or whatever it is in your life, you're going to have these moments where you feel more vulnerable. And suddenly I felt very vulnerable. I was managing the properties. They were, 1,000+ miles away. And that was fine. By the way, managing properties while I'm not going to go and fix the plumbing if it's 2 blocks away. So, what difference does it make with the distance? So, that didn't freak me out. But what did freak me out was I thought, I want to make sure that our family is safe and secure. And golly, we've never had any problems ever. But what if monster just eroded at me. That's a mindset issue. Just asterisk that mindset issue that I've worked through. However, that's where we said, okay, let's look for a better investing option. Let's look where we can start investing that makes more sense. And that is actually, I first heard Monique Halm on Bigger
Mhm.
Pockets. And when she was describing, not disgusting, it was amazing. She's describing, the syndication model. That was my aha moment. I thought, education, I can serve investors, I can serve residents, still staying on point, on mission. And um, I'm serving the community at the same time. This is a win-win-win. That's the direction I want to go. And then that's when I found Michael Blanc and this amazing, if you're watching on YouTube, this tattered, well-loved yellow book.
The yellow book. The yellow book. Now so syndication kind of struck a chord with you, but why? What problem was it solving for you? Both with specifically with single family house investing, you had a pretty good strategy, but what did that solve for you, or at least the idea of it?
Well, the vulnerable point that I found with the single family, it was, what I hear a lot of people say. I have one roof, I've got one unit to lease out. And if that person leaves or doesn't pay, I could potentially be up the creek. We always had, cash flow coming in. However, what if? I love the concept, also of having a business plan. That business plan really anchors me down because I'm not just haphazardly investing in any capacity. It's here's the building and here's what we are projecting for our occupancy. Here's what we are projecting for our rents. We can see what things are looking like, especially with the SDA. It's a really quick snapshot. That's such a gift to the world. And we can see what's going to happen, what can affect, oh, wait, interest rates are rising. Okay, let's factor that in. Where do we think things are going to be when we sell this? And so now it's no longer this um, kind of a crystal ball moment, but now we can actually make decisions based off of evidence that is rational and concrete. And I say it's wet concrete. I mean, interest rates have definitely done their things, rising particularly recently and everything, but at least we have an idea. We have a ballpark as to where things are headed, and how, also, most importantly, how are we going to pivot? Okay, well, there's a pandemic. Can we factor that in? Like all of these different elements where we can feel a little bit of buffer for everybody involved.
Talk about this what if mindset. What is that? What was that for
Mm.
you? And how was it kind of holding you back?
Yeah, I was living in that. It's a fear-based, scarcity-based mindset where it's just more reactive to the world and more, oh, I need to be a defensive player here versus I can roll with the things. These things aren't out there to get me, they're out there to serve me. And if I roll with them, they actually snowball into something really great. There might be the challenges and hurdles along the way, but if I stick with it, it's going to work out and it's going to be okay.
So what does that look like for you, the what if thing? So played it out in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Pick anything that you had to deal with, especially early on. What was your mind chattering about?
Okay, let's go back to second baby's born. And I'm just like, looked at my husband, Steven, like, I just, oh, what if something happens? At that point, we were expecting the economy to do a flush out. And so it's like,
When was this?
gosh, and it was very premature, right?
Mm.
So she was born in 2011, and I really got that nervous feeling around like maybe like a couple years later, and it's like, okay, '08 happened, a normal real estate cycle, 6 to 8 years, like where are we at in this? Like, we should sell high. We could sell it right now. We could capture that, and be positioned to buy when, 2010 happens all over again, right? Like all of that. So there's the what if, the FOMO, the what if on what if we miss timing the market the right way. And then there's the other phone, the what if of, oh my gosh, what if we have like the economy goes, tanks again and people don't pay and it's our neck on the line? And what if it's foreclosed? And what if we lose our house? And what if, I mean, I took it down to what if we end up on the streets? What if we can't take care of our babies? So I really went down the rabbit hole quite a bit. I wouldn't recommend that for everyone to do. But when you put yourself in check also, and instead of wrapping yourself in that fear, but saying, okay, and I'm grateful God gave me some foresight to be able to say, don't wrap yourself in this fear, but let's get some education. Let's dispel your what ifs and let's look for something that is going to support you in a more powerful way.
Yeah. So how did you overcome that? Obviously, your faith has something to do with that as well.
Yeah, my
Um, yeah.
faith is huge, but I allowed myself to pursue the education. And at one point, I finally decided I need, actually, this is fantastic. Okay, so Michael, I missed Dealmaker Live 2019. That is when I had first learned about the syndication, and I was just all in, feasting on your podcast, on just hanging on the every word of every guest that you featured. And some of them have since become my guests, by the way, which I'm grateful for. But I had gone through your book. I had, okay, here's a checklist. I'm doing this, check, 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 check. And I looked at my husband. I said, honey, I need to go to this event. And he said, what do spouses sometimes say? They sometimes say things like, you're still learning about this. I think it's a little early. I think you need to wait.
Right. Right.
And then what happened at that event? Oh my goodness. One of my good friends ends up forming a partnership. At that event, this beautiful partnership was formed, and I'm seeing all of these pictures, and I'm like, oh, if I would have been there, and so much magic happened at that event in 2019 that I had that FOMO, and I said, you know what? I looked at my husband. I said, this is real. I'm going to be a syndicator. This is the path. And I need to go to an event. I need to create that culture. I need the community. I need people around me so that I can do this in a very effective way. You never want to lose anybody's money. I would never sleep at night. And so Real Estate Guys was having, which you're good friends with lots of them, and they were having an event. And I thought, okay, this is when we're going to. And my husband and I flew down to Dallas to Secrets of Successful Syndication. And that was the first time I met you. I was probably a little bit of a fangirl. Is I went up to you at the elevators and I looked at my husband like, I have to go say hi. And I went up to you and I'm like, I just want to thank you so much. You changed my life. Like, everything that you've created. It was so like, it's so funny, but I'm so grateful for everything that you've created. And at that event, it was like that college level class where I got so much information and felt overwhelmed. And then I continued to attend events and ultimately joining a mentorship program. And in that mentorship program, I was able to have a commonality amongst everyone. We have a shared mindset on, like when you join any type of coaching and mentoring program, one of the luxuries is that everyone is learning the same skills. You're all speaking the same language, the same dialect. If you go from program to program, the dialects are a little bit nuanced. And so it's nice. You can create partnerships and, meet people to help support you in your journey. And being part of that sort of community, and most importantly, having a high performance coach involved in that community absolutely skyrocketed and changed the trajectory of my life.